6 steps that you will have to take if you want to buy a genuine land here in Imo State. So a week today, I was at the Ministry of Land here in Imo State to better understand the land administration here in Imo State, to understand how land administration works. So without wasting much time, what are the 6 steps that you have to take as an investor in order not to lose your money here in Imo State? So number 1, whenever you have plans of buying a land anywhere in Imo State, the first thing you need to do is what? Employ the services of a surveyor. Employ the services of a surveyor, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, when you have seen a land that you want to buy, you have seen a land, it could be 6 plots of land, it could be 100 plots of land. The first thing to do is to what? To engage what? The services of what? A surveyor. Now, what is the job of that surveyor? The job of that surveyor is to do what? Is to probably come to that site, to that land, and pick the coordinates or boundaries or points of that land, and do what? And go to the Ministry of Land to conduct what is called charting. Yes, charting, very, very important. Now, why do you need to chart a land before you buy it? The reason why you need to chart a land is to know if that land falls into government interested areas. That is why you need a surveyor. This is one of the job of what? A surveyor. I feel so when they take that coordinate or that point to the Ministry of Land to do what is called charting, to know whether it falls into government interested area or if it is free from government interested area. That is why you do charting. Now, your surveyor, having done his work, when he comes back, he will be able to tell you that what? This land is free from government interested area. If the land is free from government interested area, then you can go ahead with what? Purchasing that land. But if the land is in an area that the government are interested, the surveyor will now be the one to tell you to do what? To not to go ahead with such transaction. That is why you need a surveyor. So whenever you see a land that you want to buy, you are interested in buying the land, the first thing to do is to engage the services of what? A surveyor, for him to conduct what is called charting for you in the Ministry of Lands, to know whether you can go ahead with such transaction. So that is the first step to take here in Imo State, Nigeria, if you want to buy a genuine land. First step is what? Engage the services of what? A surveyor, to know if that land falls into government interested area or if it is free from government interested area. That is the first step to take. To now take the measurement, of the land, of the plots of land, so that as a buyer, you'll be able to have a first-hand information of what? The size of the land that you are buying. It is very, very important. It is very, very important that what? You engage the services of what? A surveyor. Are you following me? After he has done the charting, he can now go ahead to do what? To measure the land and get back to you for you to know what? The size of the land or the plot that what you are buying. That is the second step. Are you following me? When you now know the size of the plot that you are buying, it now leads us what? To step number 3. What is that step number 3? This is where you can now be comfortable to do what? Go ahead with what? Negotiation. To negotiate with what? The people of the land. It could be an individual, it could be what? A community. This is where you now go ahead to negotiate with them and bargain with them. Are you following me? This is how much I want to buy the land. This is how much I want to buy the land. Now, when you have finalized with how much you want to buy the land, this is where you now what? Engage the service of what? A lawyer. A lawyer. This is where you now what? Engage what? The services of what? A lawyer. Now, what is the job of that lawyer? The job of the lawyer is to ensure that what? The full right and ownership of that land that you have bought, in facilitating what? Rightful and full ownership of that land from the sellers to you, the buyer. That is why you need a lawyer. And here in Imo State, the document that the lawyer is to prepare is called irrevocable power of what? Attorney. It is called power of attorney. Now, for many investors, I need to let you know that what? Irrevocable power of attorney and power of attorney are almost the same thing here in Imo State. So the job of that lawyer is to prepare a document called what? Irrevocable power of what? Attorney. Are you following me? That will help the seller to transfer what? All the rights and ownership of that land to you, the buyer. That is why we engage the services of a lawyer. It is very, very important you engage the services of a lawyer. So if you're getting value from this content from this video, why not subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this. So let's jump to the next. After the lawyer has prepared the document and the seller and the buyer have signed the document, the next step, the fourth step to take is now to do is to go and register your documents, your power of what? Attorney or irrevocable power of attorney at the Ministry of Lands or with the Ministry of Lands. And I think I should say something here. The documents that is approved here in Imo State for the transfer of rights and full ownership of land in Imo State is power of attorney and not deed of assignment. Power of attorney and not what? Deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is only allowed here in Imo State when you are what? Buying a property with C of O. So whenever anybody is selling a land to you, telling you that what the land has deed of assignment, it means that what the land has what a C of O. So unlike other states here in the southeast, that you can transfer rights and ownership of a land with deed of assignment. What is approved here in Imo State is what power of attorney. Deed of assignment is only allowed when the land has what C of O. Now, if you are aware of Land Use Act, every state has its own land law. So I'm giving you updated curriculum that what deed of assignment is when the land has what a C of O land title. But if the land does not have a C of O land title, the approved land document to transfer that right from the buyer to you, the seller, is called what power of what attorney, or irrevocable power of what attorney. So that is it. So the first step to take when you have obtained your power of attorney is to do what? Is to go to what? The Ministry of Lands here in Imo State and what? Officially register that document, that power of attorney. I follow him now. Why do you need to do that? It is because when you register that document, that power of attorney, the government is now seeing you as what? The official and rightful owner of that land. That is why we encourage people to do what? To register their land. Are you following me? You can have a land can be genuine, you can be the owner and the rightful owner of that land. But if it is not yet registered with the Ministry of Lands, the government is not seeing you yet as the rightful owner. So maybe you have a land, you bought a land, but you have not yet registered it. The land is genuine. I'm not saying it's not genuine, but for the government to recognize you as the rightful owner of that land, you need to take the first step and do what? And now register that land in the Ministry of Lands. Are you following me? So registration of the land is not free. It comes with some cost, which maybe let me give you a rundown of it. Now, if you are to register, if you want to do your charting, if you want to chart any land here in Imo State, charting of land costs something around what, like 50,000 naira to chart your land, and the registration fee of that land is 100,000 naira. Hope you are seeing. This is one of the reasons why many people don't register their land, but this is what it costs to register a land, 100,000 naira. Then inspection fee for them to come and stuff like that is 70,000 naira, and capital gain tax of that land is what? 10% of the value of the land. 10% of the value of how much you bought that land. If you bought the land for 1 million naira, the 10% what you pay in the Ministry of Land is 10%, which is 100,000 naira. Not just that, the stamp duty is 2% of the value of the land. Are you seeing what it costs to register a land here in Imo State? So this is the reason why many people have not yet registered their land, because registration is not free. And when you register, it takes like a minimum of 1 month for your documents for your approval to be ready and done. So that is the fourth step to take here in Imo State if you want to buy a genuine land, or after you have purchased a genuine land. There is a need for you to go to the Ministry of Lands and register your land documents. The government will now see you as the official and rightful owner of that land. That is why it is very, very important, and we encourage landowners to go ahead and register their land. That is the fourth step to take here in Imo State. And the fifth step to take here in Imo State is after you have now registered that power of attorney, and the government is now seeing you as the rightful owner of that land. This is when you can now apply for C of O, the C of O land title. C of O is a land title. There's a difference between land document and land title, but that will be in my next video. So with your power of attorney, that is when you can now take the fifth step, which is applying for C of O. Without a registered power of attorney, you can't apply for C of O here in Imo State. That is why it is important you do you register your land, or register your land document called power of attorney, or irrevocable power of attorney. Now, getting of C of O takes time, and especially with the leadership, what is happening in leadership in Imo State right now, they are not currently giving C of O. So, but these are the 5 steps that you will have to take if you don't want to fall prey to land scammers. This is what it means to conduct your due diligence. Are you following? So the 6th way, I promised you 6 steps on how to avoid losing your investments here in Imo State. The 6th step is now to do is buying through a genuine and a verified real estate company. This is the 6th step. Now, having followed the 5 steps that I just mentioned, or that I just listed to you on how to buy a genuine land in Imo State, the 6th step is, if you don't want to go through all the stress of engaging a surveyor, charting, just the steps from step 1 to step 5, that is when you can now engage the services of a realtor, are you following me, or a real estate company. If you don't want to go through the stress of engaging a surveyor, a barrister, and stuff like that, that is why real estate companies are here for you. They help you to reduce the stress of running around and doing all these things. Are you following? So whenever you don't want to follow all these steps, that is when you now what? Engage what? The services of what? A realtor like me, a well knowledgeable realtor that understands the system and that will still what? Ensure that what? All these processes are followed. So these are the 6 steps on how to buy a genuine land here in Imo State. Are you following me? If you don't want to follow all the stress, that is when you can what? Engage what? The services of what? A realtor. Are you following me? A realtor that works with what? A genuine and a registered and a verifiable real estate company. That is why I am here to help you whenever you are in need of a land transaction or a transaction that has to do with house here in Imo State. So if you got value from this content, why not give me a thumbs up, a like. If you're watching from YouTube, why not hit the subscribe button, because more value content like this is going to be coming, and I'm going to be posting genuine properties here in Imo State that are available for sales. So till the next time we meet, I am Ebenezer T. Obuna, your #1 value realtor here in Imo State. So do take good care of yourself till the next time we meet. Peace.